This is Show Me Your Shack for November and December 2014. Bill Salina, KM4EKE, sent us pictures from the Chattanooga Hamfest. They had a great show. It took Bill 10 minutes to find a parking place. Vendors filled the building. There was a large-scale boneyard outside. There were many great sessions inside and the obligatory grand prize drawing. Dan, WA5CYR, sent us a photo of his operating position and his four-element bushcraft ATB-34 at 40 feet. He built that antenna in 1975. Glenn, 8P6NW in Barbados, built his own 40-meter receiver, and he sent us some photos. Everything was built on a breadboard. All of the breadboards can be plugged in or out separately. Well, Pat, KK4LGS, sent us photos of his home-built GoKid. Here's a look inside and a look at the power connectors. The front panel is silk screened. The kit's powerful to use in times of emergency and while traveling. In the meantime, Nick, W5NSA, sent us photos from his shack. Here's the wide view and a close-up look at the rig. He uses an FT847 and is operated from Poland as SO5NSA. Jim, KD0YTJ, met up with Bob at the Nixa, Missouri Hamfest and enjoyed the great presentation. Kevin, KC7FPF, a regular on the 40-meter post-show net, sent us a picture of his shack and a close-up look at the HF beams and VHF verticals on his 60-foot Ron tower. Mike, W1MWB, sent us a picture with his friend Dave, Alpha 1 Lima Oscar, operating a simulated emergency test at the York County, Maine EMA. Greg, N5XO, and his wife Ruth, KE5MHJ, operate from this shack. They run on all bands from 80 meters up, but they concentrate on VH operations from 50 megahertz through 1296 megahertz. And here's their tower. It's loaded for bear. Chris, KG4GSX in the Smoky Mountains, sent us a picture of his shack starring Amanda, K1DDN. He's a regular on the 40-meter post-show net. Well, Jim, AD5KD, sent us shots of his vintage Central Electronics station, along with a close-up of his vintage Hammerland SP600. In the meantime, Bill, WX5W, recently turned 80 and marked 52 years as an amateur radio operator. His friends sent us a photo of Bill in his shack and his unusual suspect certificate of appreciation. His friends say he's a joy to talk to on the radio and a true inspiration. We hope you had a very happy birthday, Bill. Well, Gary, WA2HDQ, also has a Hammerland SP600 and plenty of literature from ham radio in the 60s. His dad, Robert Cornwell, was the technical editor for radio electronics then. And here's Gary's workbench. And here are two of the vintage magazines, both from 1961. Larry, WD0AKX, is another regular on the 40-meter post-show net, also contributes videos to Ham Nation occasionally. Here he is listening to Christmas music on the Hallicraster's S38C that he restored a few years ago. Philippe, F5 PTA, sent us his photo of a shack in France, complete with his new Heil Pro Set Elite headset. Lanny, N0JZ, and a regular on the 3885 AM net, sent us photos of his shack with the refurbished Johnson Viking 2. And here's a close-up of his Johnson Viking Model 122 VFO. And here's the Mocan group at the Brighton Hamfest. They run on 3885 kilohertz AM nets every morning during the week at 9 o'clock. Michael, WB0SND, has a collection of vintage gear that he uses on the air daily. Here's another desk loaded with more of the collection. Chico Charlie, K6, HTM, shares hobbies with Bob Heil. Besides ham radio, they both love theater organ. They both hold doctorates. We've had several viewers request ugly ham shack pictures, So William, KG4AQH, wanted to make the first contribution. Looks like there might be a clear path large enough for him to reach that operator's chair. Maybe. And last but not least, from our good friend Simon, FL2FAE, he sent us this t-shirt photo. He suggested George get one and wear it on the Smoke and Solder segment. And that's it. Show me your shack for December 2014, going into January 2015. Make sure to send your shack photos to hamnationvideos at twit.tv.